20 years of success in real estate. All these women have been in real estate. I think they all started when you're 5, right? Like, goodness, ladies. I tell you, I love it. I love it. So good. She's developed into a trainer. She became a coach, worked into the managing broker position. There, she took a struggling office to the top 20 in the country. That role led her to the VP of sales within that franchise, where she helped them grow to the number 6 global position. It's powerful. These amazing accomplishments led her to become the current director of retention for eXp Realty. She drives agents' success and loyalty, focusing on building relationships. She's got a heart of gold, and she's all about helping others become better than who they are, whether you know it or not. She loves bringing happiness for the internal dialogue. So put your hands together for the stupendous Susan McClain.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Enjoy. He added the heart of gold. Like, I don't know where that one came from. That was not for me. It was definitely not for my husband, that's for sure. So, you guys, I'm here today to talk about impact, right? But also just some of the lessons that we've learned. So I'm going to tell you a story. I changed this last night, like literally. So I have notes because I changed this last night. So I was talking to an agent on the phone yesterday, and we were talking, it was an agent I've known for probably 15 years. We were talking about, what's the impact that you have in your business? What's the impact that you have in your life, right? What are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned from the things that we're doing, right? Every day, serving clients, serving each other, being great family members. And we were talking about, and he actually told me, he said, this is something that you told me years ago when you hired me. And I'm going to tell you what it is in a second. And I literally got goosebumps. I started crying and I'm like, okay, I'm throwing out what I was going to talk about. And I'm talking about this today. So you guys, I've been in real estate for 20 years, just like Jason said, right? And I feel like I've learned a lot. I've had a lot of lessons, good and bad, right? Ups and downs, more ups than downs. Thank you. Then in those 20 years, I've learned about people. I've learned about, what we should do and what we shouldn't do. But one of the most powerful lessons I've learned, and I've learned it personally, and I've also seen agents learn this also, it's really just the, sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. It's that the most so last night, rewrote this. But it's really that the most successful agents in business, they go one step further than everyone else. At the end of the day, that's what it is, right? And that's what this agent was telling me on the phone last night. Do you remember, Susan, when you told me I need to go one step further than everyone else? So there's this invisible line in real estate, you guys, and I've seen it happen over and over. Agents walk up to this line and they all stop. And they go, oh, okay, so this is what I should be doing because everyone else stopped here. And yep, this is it. This is what I should be doing in real estate. But the most successful agents, right, they take one extra step past that line where everyone else stops. So if you learn that early on in your career, you'll be in the top 10% of real estate agents. You guys, I ran an office, a real estate office for years and years. It seemed like decades, but I ran this office and we had a bullpen, right? Did anyone start their real estate career in a bullpen? Yeah, I did, right? Well, what's the problem with a bullpen? The problem with the bullpen is because you're sitting next to all of these other brand new agents, right? And so you get your real estate license and you're like, I took my 90 hours of pre-licensing and I know nothing about real estate. I know nothing, right? But I'm going to sit next to Bob, and Bob over here, he's been licensed for 2 months. Bob has his sphere in a spreadsheet. Oh yeah. And Bob's holding his first open house by himself. He's not even shadowing, right? Bob knows what he's doing. Bob is a real estate god and I am following him. That's what happens in a bullpen, right? Because we all go up to this line and we go, oh, this is what everyone else is doing. But if you take that extra step, you guys, you will be super successful. I promise you, I've seen it over and over again. So running that office, right? I've seen this happen. And it seems like the difference in business between a new agent and a super successful agent, right? Like some of these ladies that we've we've heard from today, it seems like the difference in their business is miles, right? But honestly, the difference in business between a super successful agent and a brand new agent is literally the difference of one step. But you know what? It's that one step that's repeated over and over and over again. That's where the business divide comes from, right? So I wrote something down, and it's I wrote everything down because I did this last night, but it's a quote, and I wrote it down because I thought I would get it wrong if I didn't write it down. And the quote is this: I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man that has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Anyone guess who said that? Bruce Lee, right? I will not do a very high kick. You're welcome. But Bruce Lee said that, and you guys, that is the absolute power of taking one step. It's doing it, but you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. If you and I go in the same listing appointment, and all things else being, everything else is equal, but I do one thing more than you do, am I more likely to get that listing? Absolutely, right? But if I do that for a year or 5 years or the 20 years that I've been in real estate, will my business really outpace yours? Yeah, absolutely. Now, if we're prospecting, and guess what? You overcome one more objection than I do. I stop at 2, but you do 3. Are you more likely to get that client, all things being equal? Absolutely, 100%. But you do that with every single client that you talk to, every single day for years and years and years. You take that one extra step, your business will definitely outpace mine, right? Make sense? So today I actually want to talk about what are the one steps that I've seen, and I'd love for you guys to also contribute. What are the extra one steps that we've all seen agents take? Maybe it's a step that you've taken, or I've taken, in our business that can really, really propel us to be in that top 10% of agents. So when I think about taking the extra step, and I think about all of the different business strategies that we have, I have to start at the top, and I have to start with goals. Now, when I say goals, I don't want you to check out, right? Some of us are not goal people. I'm not a goal person. Like, goals do not drive me, not in the least, and I'll tell you a quick story about that. When I started running that little tiny office, I had 12 people in 2009. I took over an office that was not doing well. But I took this office and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to turn this office around. It's going to be great. The owner of the company called me about a month after I took the job. And she said, Susan, I'm going to come to your office and we're going to talk about your office goals. And you guys, I was like, I got this. Oh, I got this. I'm going to blow her away with my goals. Like, she's going to be like, oh my gosh. So she comes to my office. She sits down across from me at my desk. I can see it like it was yesterday. And she said, Susan, tell me, what are your goals for the office? And I go, oh my gosh, we're going to kick butt and take names. You know that listing board out there? We're going to fill it. We're going to need a new one. That pending board, we're going to need a second pending board. And she goes, that's amazing. What are your goals? I'm like, I just told you. Are you not listening? Like, there's a disconnect here. And she was literally probably thinking, oh my gosh, who did I just hire, right? But that's the difference. I'm not driven by goals. I'm driven by vision, right? So don't check out. When we talk about goals, don't check out, right? Because you might be driven like vision like I am, and that's okay, right? But when I think about the agents who take the extra step in their goal setting, when they do every year, we should do our goal setting and we should do a check-in in the middle of the year. When I think about them, they don't usually set real estate goals. They're not sitting there going, I'm going to sell 50 houses this year. The top agents that take the extra step, they're setting impact goals, right? I want to have an impact. Maybe it's an impact on the environment. For me, my impact that I want to have, it's for animals. If you tell me, Susan, you're going to work until you're bleeding, but you're going to save a puppy, okay, I'm going to bleed, and I'll bleed all over the place, but I'm going to save the puppy, right? So what's the impact that you're working for? Because if your impact drives you, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your real estate goal is. Your real estate's just a vehicle to get to that impact that you want to make. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's one of the things that I've seen agents do. They have that impact goal. Okay, what else? Anyone have an idea? I mean, I have tons of ideas. I can talk forever. Unfortunately, they put a microphone on me, which Jason is really regretting right now. Anyone else on your goal setting? What do really like top agents? If you're going to take the extra step, what would you do? Do what? How are you going to get your business? I love that, right? So work a plan to get that goal, whether it's an impact goal, a real estate goal. How am I going to get there? I love that. And you know what I would do if I'm going to write out how, or I'm going to, come up with a plan on how I'm going to get there? I'm going to write it out. So you guys, I get up every single morning and I journal about my ideal life. So we talk about setting a great goal in real estate, write it out. Don't just say I'm going to sell 50 homes this year. Say, I'm waking up and today I'm next to the person that I love the most and I'm super happy and we're all healthy and our kids are healthy and my parents are healthy, right? And then I wake up and I see the sun shining through the windows and I shuffle to get my coffee and I love the house that I live in, right? This is literally what I do. I write it out, my ideal life. And you guys, I've been doing this for years and I will tell you something. I can stand here today behind the tape that Jason told me not to go past. I can stand here today and tell you that I'm literally living the life that I journaled about. So we have property in Brown County. It's amazing. I journaled about having property. I always want to live in Brown County. I don't know what it is, but I journaled. I lived in Center Grove, right? And, suburbia. And I wanted to live in Brown County and I wanted a creek. Oh my gosh, a creek and trails and big trees. You guys, I literally live there right now. I'm building the house that I have envisioned a million times in my head and journaled about it. So that's what agents who take the extra step do. They don't set a real estate goal to sell 50 houses. They journal about it, right? They set impact goals. Does that make sense? All right. We're going to talk. How am I doing on time? Okay, good. We're going to talk about one more thing. How's that? So let's talk about another thing that top agents do to be in the top 10%, right? Taking that extra step. And this is something super passionate about this. I'm passionate about everything, but it's the value that you provide, like pre-transaction. You can call it marketing, but for me, when I think of marketing for real estate, I think of and that's not what I mean. I mean, how do you provide value to people that you haven't transacted with yet? So if I'm a top agent, I'm going to take the extra step. You know what my way of doing value, providing value, is video. Now, I'm horrible at it. I had to do a video for work the other day for the company, like 30 takes. I'm literally cussing. I'm cuss like a sailor. I do. I can't help it. But I'm like cussing. So my husband's office is right next to me, and he's like, I know your points better than you do right now. Do you want me to do it for you? Shut up, Dave. No one asked you. So I'm not great at video, but you know what? I work with some agents who are phenomenal with video, but do you know why? Because they kept doing it over and over and over. They said, this is my step. This is where I'm going to go one step around where everyone else stops. But they don't do it once, right? That's how you get a divide of miles between your business, is you do that step, but you do it over and over and over and over again. And then that propels your business, right? So video is a fantastic way. Does anyone do video? Are you consistent with your video? Anyone? Yay! All right, give yourself a round of applause. I love that because you're taking that extra step and you found it, right? So, all right, that's video. I'm going to give you a couple of video tips. So I work with an agent. He's phenomenal. Mike Sherrard is his name. And I'm going to give you a few video tips. Who wants to do video, but you're not? Yeah, a lot of you. Okay, so I'm going to give you really quickly a few video tips. And I thought these were amazing. So top 3 communities in my city, right? Wouldn't that be a cool video? I would watch that. What about Fishers versus Carmel? Where should you live? Or Noblesville versus Westfield? Where should you live, right? That'd be a really cool video. Somerset versus Willow Lakes. Where's the best place for my family? What does $500,000 or $700,000 get you in Indianapolis in 2023, right? But when you think about doing these videos, there's you're writing them down. Oh, look, you're paying attention. Thank you. Community tours, right? But being able to have those video ideas and then just be able to say very consistently, this is what I'm going to do. This is my extra step. This is how I am going to, take that, invisible line and tear it right off, right? Because that's what our job is. Okay, really quickly, and I'm almost done. Okay, perfect. Oh, good. I got 5 minutes. Okay, so marketing. I love this. Marketing value providing. So what about a CMA box? Do you guys do a CMA box or like a pre-listing box? Anyone do a pre-listing box? One. We have one person. Is that it? Oh, good job. Good job. So pre-listing box. If you guys did a pre-listing box on every single listing appointment that you went on, do you think that would be your extra step? Do you think it would put you in the top 10% if you did it every single time, right? What would you, I'm not going to ask you because it might be a secret. What would you put in a pre-listing box? Any ideas?
Info on yourself.
Info on yourself. Okay, good. What else? Yes. Oh, a pre-listing box would be something that you would send to the seller before your listing appointment. No, that's a fantastic question. See, I don't always make sense. But what about your marketing plan, right? Your comps? Ooh, piece of chocolate. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I recruited for years and years and years and years. I recruited agents. And for what it was, I was fairly good at it, I guess. But I would always put a little like token. So I would do an interview and I would mail a little card and I would put a little token on the card. Well, this one time, Emily Overby, anyone know Emily Overby? Yeah. She's a doll, right? So I recruited her and I did an appointment with her and then I sent her a little thank you card and I put a little piece of chocolate on the thank you card and I mailed it to her. It was like August. She gets this card. She opens it and there's like melted chocolate all over her mailbox. But do you know what? She joined me and she was like, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen, right? Even though it was melted chocolate. And still to this day, she teases me about my melted chocolate. But you guys, you do something like that. Do something to stand out. Decide what is your extra step. So if you decide, it might be a CMA box, right? Or a pre-listing box. Maybe it's goal setting. Maybe it's videos. Maybe it's 10,000 other things that I'm not going to have time to get to today. But whatever it is, you guys choose your step. Do not go to the invisible line that every other real estate agent goes to where they stop. Take your extra step. You don't have to take 10,000 extra steps. You have to take one. But you do it over and over and over again, and that's how you become a killer real estate agent. Make sense? Okay. And then once you take your step, turn back and wave at me, right? Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Great job.